ट्विटर, वो वेबसाइट जिस पर हम बड़ा सारा समय खराब करते हैं, अपार्ट फ्रॉम अदर सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स, also happens to be a megaphone that we use to share our opinions. और बहुत सारी डिस्कशंस वहां पर होती हैं, कुछ अच्छी, कुछ खराब, कुछ ट्रोलिंग, कुछ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। दुनिया भर के बड़े बड़े हिस्टोरिकल इवेंट्स वहां पर रिकॉर्ड होते हैं, उसके बारे में लोग लाइव अपडेट्स करते हैं, और भी बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो वो करता है हमारे लिए। और उस पर बहुत दिनों से ये चल रहा था कि इलॉन मस्क उसको शायद खरीद सकते हैं, एंड दैट फाइनली हैपेंड. I think it's a very big deal, and I wanted to discuss it with somebody who's one, I am sure, has rational views on things. Two, is also active on Twitter, and the result is Dr. Bhooshan Shukla, who's a renowned psychiatrist. I always love the ideas that he puts forth, not just on social media platforms, but every time he comes on my show. So with that, Dr. Shukla, first of all, welcome to the show. It's been a long time that I'm seeing you.
Yes, Tarun. Yeah, we all have, most of us have survived these last 2 years, and that's a great feeling. Nice to see you fit and healthy as usual.
Yes. What are your initial thoughts on Musk buying Twitter?
Oh, it was a lot of ambivalence. I was happy and I was worried at the same time.
Huh.
I was very happy because I'm a full supporter of free speech,
Huh.
and I was worried because I know the road to free speech is so complicated and so tortuous that I was wondering, is this platform going to even remain alive if they really go for free speech?
Yeah.
And that was the complicated feeling at that time.
So this free speech debate is very interesting to me, because personally I believe that everyone should be allowed to say whatever they want to say. But उसमें भी क्या कुछ लाइंस ड्रॉ होने चाहिए? इलॉन मस्क ने ट्वीट कर दिया है कि जो लोकल लॉज है या जो भी आपकी कंट्री के लॉज हैं, शायद उस पर ध्यान देना जरूरी होगा, वो तो फॉलो करने ही पड़ेंगे. Where do you stand on this whole free speech scenario?
So Tarun, I'm an absolutelist on this, that either we have free speech or we don't.
Yeah.
There are no boundaries of free speech. Obviously, the moment I say that, I'm fully aware that what are the complications that are there, particularly in any, not particularly in any society where government wants to control, government wants to be in a paternal role of seeing what their children or citizen should be able to say or hear or see. It gets really complicated. Here, I think Elon Musk has essentially killed the free speech aspirations by saying that he will follow the country's laws. So he has essentially put the responsibility back on us, saying that if your country doesn't support free speech, not my problem, dudes, you go and sort it out yourself.
राइट. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो डीप प्लेटफॉर्म हो गए थे. बहुत सारी बातें चल रही कि शायद वो वापस आ जाएंगे. व्हाट आर द इम्प्लीकेशंस ऑफ इलॉन मस्क नाउ बीइंग ऑन द टॉप ऑफ एवरीथिंग? पहले ये एक बोर्ड था जो इसको कंट्रोल करता था, ट्विटर को. ट्विटर पे बहुत सारे एलिगेशंस थे कि दे यूज्ड टू रियली मॉनिटर कंटेंट एज पर देयर अंडरस्टैंडिंग, या फिर जो उनको सूट करता है उसके हिसाब से वो एडजस्ट करते हैं. डू यू अग्री टू दैट?
So yes, I have seen that happening on Twitter. I have seen my timeline getting tweaked multiple times. People, getting unfollowed automatically and all of that stuff. And we know a lot of people say, for example, Trump was banned from Twitter. The president of United States of India was banned from Twitter. So obviously there was a lot of algorithms, there was a lot of back end thing happening there, monitoring the content. And this is true of all social media. We all essentially feel that social media is free. It is absolutely not. There are algorithms working, there are rules working there. And as you very correctly pointed out, there is a committee, there is a board behind all of this. And this remains pretty anonymous because it becomes a collective decision and nobody can touch them. They are behind a lot of firewalls. Many times we don't even know who's actually taking the decisions. Right. And I sincerely hope that what Elon Musk has said, that these algorithms will be open source, they will be transparent, they will be there for everybody to see. And let us see how that changes things, because transparency always makes people more responsible.
Right.
So let us hope that will happen and people will not get banned.
Right. पहले आई एम श्योर ऐसा होता था कि जैसे अगर कुछ हो रहा है तो यू कुडंट पॉइंट आउट एट फॉर एग्जांपल जैक डॉर्सी कि ये आपने किया होगा. ही कुड ऑलवेज से कि नहीं नहीं दिस इज अ डिसीजन दैट द बोर्ड टेक्स और वी हैव अदर पीपल टेकिंग केयर ऑफ इट. आई थिंक दैट शुड चेंज नाउ दैट वी नो दैट दिस इज द मैन विद द फेस and he owns all of it.
I sincerely hope so, because Elon Musk has a reputation of taking responsibility. He is out there, directly responding to things himself, and somebody who's put his name as the brand there. So that is something very important. This individual responsibility, individual visibility. Obviously, people will say that he's a megalomaniac and he's putting his name up there and all of that. But that is true for all the brand names out there. So let us see what he does. At least I hope he will not hide behind an invisible board.
Yeah, because now there's no board. It's a 100% private company. They've spent a lot of money, 44 billions to be precise. What do you want to say about the valuation?
I am hardly any person to talk about value. Money. This is incomprehensible money. Yesterday, I and my wife, we were trying to count how many zeros are there if we convert it to rupees, and the usual middle class thinking कि यार इतने में क्या क्या बन सकता था, क्या क्या हो सकता था, etc. etc. So we did the usual Indian middle class shit, laughed, and went back to bed. See, I don't think you and I, at least I, am in any position to talk about these valuations at all. The only decision I have to take is, should I be buying shares or not?
Yeah, I was reading news today, and there's a news about Sri Lanka that World Bank has approved a $600 million loan for Sri Lanka.
एलॉन मस्क के पॉकेट से इतना पैसा गिर गया तो उसे पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि गिर गया है.
हाँ, मतलब जोक के जैसा लगता है. This is an amount that can get a country out of a mess that they are in, and I'm sure solve a lot of other problems. ऐसा भी ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा डिबेट का विषय है कि should an amount like 44 billion be spent on something like this, or should he have done something better with his money? What are your thoughts on that?
See, every time this subject turns up, right from Sachin Tendulkar to people getting astronomical amount of money and all of that, I ask myself only one question: that am I truly concerned or am I just jealous? And most of the times the answer is that I'm just jealous. See, this dude earned his money through business all over the world.
Right.
He owns it. He has a right what to do about it. Right. If I have an opinion on $44 billion, I should first earn the money, then earn the opinion, and then earn the right to spend it as I want. It's his money. He can do whatever he wants with it.
I have I have a small segment on my Instagram called Thermology, where I do a little bit of mimicry and I comment on what's happening in the world. So yesterday I picked this up as a problem, and question answer format में वो रहता है. तो the question was कि it's a lot of money to spend on an app, but my answer to that was कि वो जो 44 billion वो खर्च कर रहा है वो उसके पैसे हैं. We should rather be worried about people who we voted in power in different places, and the money that they are spending is going from our pocket. That should be our concern more than anything else.
Absolutely. And our precious time in life that we are spending on all of these things, which is the only currency that we really have, we should be more mindful of that than anything else.
Yeah. So there are a few features that people are expecting. बहुत समय से बात चल रही है कि इसको कुछ ना कुछ बदलाव इसमें होने चाहिए. For example, एक बहुत लंबा समय हो गया जब लोग कह रहे हैं कि यहाँ पर एक edit button होना चाहिए Twitter पे. What are your thoughts on that?
I am not usually for the edit button, for a simple reason that things like typos and all of that can be changed in a follow-up tweet, or can be left there as you for all you know, it will become NFT. Remember those stamps, those old stamps that people used to purchase because there was some mistake in that stamp, something went wrong with the stamp.
Yeah.
and that creates thousands of millions of dollars in value if you auction it now.
Yeah.
Same way, I would like to see those tweets. But again, some people say that, oh, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have said it. And Elon Musk says that now I'll give all the history of the editing that is there, which would also be very interesting. How what people choose to edit, how it changes the meaning. See, this is all about discussion, and
Yeah.
people will use anything to generate that discussion and analyze whatever you did. So it's an interesting development, interesting thing to watch.
Also, to keep these algorithms transparent, which you mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
open source करने की उसको बात हो रही है. Is that going to help? And how? What do you think?
I agree with that transparency completely. I think who is given how much of space and what is changed and what is not should be for public to see, because it is ultimately about trustworthiness of this medium.
Hmm.
So if this medium has to be trustworthy, everything has to be transparent. Otherwise, people are simply going to drift away from there.
Hmm. Uh, और कोई ऐसे बेसिक चेंजेस इन द वे ट्विटर फंक्शंस आपको लगता है कि होने चाहिए या हो सकते हैं, बिकॉज नाउ मस्क इज इन पावर, is in charge?
My main concern as a doctor and as a citizen is anonymity. There is a big fear that anonymity will disappear from Twitter. And I do agree that there are lots of people who can speak up only if their anonymity is guaranteed.
Yeah.
And their freedom and our freedom and what they have to reveal totally depends on how much of protection they get. It's like a witness protection program. And my concern is about this anonymity. It needs to be there because a lot of people will need it. Of course, it will be misused. As usual, everything in human hands will be misused. You find nuclear power and people will make atom bombs and world will be ruled by that. But I do believe that it has a very great value, and I hope it doesn't disappear from Twitter.
Yeah. About the misuse of the power that this is and all the other powers, for example, nuclear power, you said. Anonymity, of course, I know a lot of people who are anonymous on Twitter. They use pseudonyms, they use bot pictures and whatnot, but they speak रियल ट्रूथ, और बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें वो लोग बोलते हैं वहां पर जो वाकई एनोनिमस होना उसके लिए जरूरी है. बट अनोनिमिटी के नाम पर और भी बहुत सारे अकाउंट्स भी हैं जो कुछ भी लिखते हैं, और फिर अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल इन आवर वर्ल्ड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स टेक इट seriously. Is there, do you see a solution to that, and how should we deal it? We can't be having what should I say, gullible people, taking that word seriously, which somebody's written just as a joke a lot of times.
So now you're speaking like government. Are you planning to form a country and a government? Because here we are taking a view.
I'm planning to buy an island. Planning to buy an island. Seeking loan
so
from
you're definitely getting ready to be a king of that, where you have this protective instinct to protect the gullible from the nasty people in this world, where all are adults and responsible for their actions.
Yeah.
So it's again, Tarun, I don't think there is a perfect answer for this. This is a perfect question, because yes, if no matter what you do, there will be some people who will be harmed. And can we protect them all without compromising the basic freedoms is a very big question there.
Let's see we reach a place where people use it more sensibly. People, it's a big power. We've now realized what started as a fun app where people used to tell कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं, लोग अपनी जिंदगी में क्या कर रहे हैं in 140 characters, has now become the place where opinions are shared. बड़े बड़े जो देश है वहाँ की सरकारें इससे गिर जाती हैं या बन जाती हैं, तो और उस अब हर तरह की वैल्यू की स्टैंप इसके ऊपर लग चुकी है, इंक्लूडिंग मॉनेटरी वैल्यू आल्सो नाउ. सो ये सब हो चुका है. आई एम रियली एक्साइटेड टू सी वेयर इट गोज फ्रॉम हियर नाउ दैट इट इज 100% प्राइवेट. Doc, is there anything that you want to add to this conversation? Any final thoughts?
My only request to everybody is that be sensible, be mindful. We do not have $44 billion to spend by ourselves, but we only have a few seconds left in this life, and we don't know how much they are. Right. Be very, very mindful of how you spend that time, and be happy. Spread happiness.
Very well said. Thank you so much for joining. Like always, it's a pleasure to listen to you talk and put some sense into things that are, questions that are tough to answer.
Thank you, Tarun. It's been great talking to you again. Yeah.